I'm dragging Tara's suitcase down the stairs at midnight, and she's screaming at me like I just murdered her firstborn. The thing weighs a ton, probably packed with half my stuff she's stolen over the past 2 months, and it bumps against every step with a satisfying thud that punctuates her hysteria. "You can't do this," she shrieks, her voice hitting that pitch only toxic people seem to master. "You're such a pathetic little man. Lena! Lena!" My wife appears in the doorway at the bottom of the stairs, barefoot, hair wild, eyes blazing with that particular brand of righteous fury she reserves for when I dare to have boundaries. She's wearing one of those expensive silk pajama sets she bought with our joint account, the one I've been quietly draining for the past week. "Evan," she says, and her voice is ice. "Put that down, right now." I don't put it down. I keep dragging it step by step, and Tara follows me like a harpy, shrieking and clawing at the handle. Her fingers are red-tipped claws today. She just got them done at the salon where she works, probably complained the whole time about her abusive brother-in-law to anyone who'd listen. Finally, I mutter, just loud enough for them both to hear, a 2-for-1 deal I can afford. That stops Lena cold. Her mouth opens, closes. Tara freezes mid-shriek. I reach the bottom step, and Tara makes a grab for the suitcase. She's not a small woman, none of the women in Lena's family are, and she puts her whole weight into yanking it away from me. The momentum sends us both stumbling, and before I can catch myself, we're shoving at each other in the narrow hallway, all grace abandoned. "Let go!" she screams, and her elbow catches the lamp on the side table. It crashes to the floor in an explosion of ceramic and glass. Across the street, Mrs. Caldwell's lights flick on. I can see her curtain twitch. Good. Let her watch. Let the whole damn neighborhood watch. I wrench the suitcase free with one hard pull and march toward the front door. Lena moves to block me, but I'm not stopping for anyone anymore. I shoulder past her, not rough, just firm, and throw open the door. The October night air rushes in, cold and clean, carrying the salt smell of the ocean a few blocks away. The suitcase lands on the porch with a thud. Lena's in the doorway now, her hands shaking, her face pale in the porch light. Tara's behind her, still shrieking, but I'm not listening anymore. I'm looking at my wife, this woman I've shared a bed with for 7 years, and I'm seeing a stranger. "If she goes," Lena says, and her voice cracks, "I go." There it is, the ultimatum, the line in the sand. The moment she thinks will break me, make me back down, force me to swallow my pride and let them both back in because I'm so desperate and pathetic and weak. I look at her for a long moment, then I smile, then go. The words hang in the air between us, and I watch the color drain from her face. She wasn't expecting that. Neither was Tara, who's finally shut up for the first time in 2 months. You don't mean that," Lena whispers. "I'll help you pack," I say, and turn back into the house. Behind me, I hear Tara start up again, but softer now, uncertain. I head upstairs to get Lena's suitcases from the closet, and my heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. But my hands are steady. For the first time in months, my hands are steady. Let me rewind. Let me tell you how I got here, because it didn't start with midnight evictions and shattered lamps. It started the way these things always start, with a phone call and a woman who thinks family is a magic word that erases all boundaries. 2 months ago, early September, I came home from the high school where I teach English to find Lena sitting at the kitchen table with her phone pressed to her ear and that expression on her face. The one that means she's already made a decision and is just going through the motions of pretending we have a partnership. "Uh-huh," she was saying. No, of course. Family is family. Don't worry about it. We have the space." I set my bag down by the door, carefully, quietly, because I've learned that drawing attention to myself when Lena's in planning mode is a tactical error. She hung up and looked at me with bright, determined eyes. "Tara's moving in." Not "can Tara move in?" Or "what do you think about Tara staying with us for a while?" Just a flat statement of fact, delivered with the casual confidence of someone who's never been told no in her life. "Moving in," I repeated. "Temporarily. She's having issues with her roommate situation, and you know how expensive rent is right now. She just needs a place to land for a few weeks while she figures things out." I knew Tara. Everyone who's ever met Tara knows Tara. She's the kind of person who makes an entrance everywhere she goes, who speaks in capital letters and treats every minor inconvenience like a personal attack from the universe. She'd been at our house for Thanksgiving 2 years ago and spent the entire meal complaining about her job, her ex-boyfriend, her bills, her landlord, and the dry turkey, which Lena had cooked. "A few weeks," I said. "A month, tops. Evan, come on, she's my sister." There it was, the magic word, family. We should talk about this, I said. Make a plan. Set some boundaries. Lena stood up, already dismissing me with her body language. She's my sister. What's there to talk about? She'll take the guest room. It's not like we use it for anything. It's my office. You can grade papers at the kitchen table. And that was it. Discussion over. Tara was moving in, and I was moving out of the one space in the house that was mine. She arrived 3 days later in a U-Haul that seemed excessive for a temporary stay. I watched from the living room window as she and Lena unloaded box after box, laughing and talking like they were furnishing a permanent residence. My office, my former office, was transformed into Tara's bedroom within hours, complete with her gaudy gold mirror, her collection of scented candles that made the whole upstairs smell like a Bath and Body Works had exploded, and her clothes, which seemed to multiply and spread throughout the house like a fungus. That first night, she came downstairs in a silk robe and fuzzy slippers, made herself comfortable in my reading chair, the one I'd inherited from my father, and propped her feet up on the coffee table. So, she said, examining her nails, Lena tells me you work 2 jobs? I was grading essays at the kitchen table, my kitchen table. I teach full-time and work evenings at the supermarket, I said. Huh. She said it like she was processing something mildly distasteful. Teaching doesn't pay that well, does it? But a supermarket, that seems kind of what? I don't know. Beneath you, like you went to college and everything. I set down my red pen. It pays the bills. Barely, from the look of this place. She gestured around the living room, which was clean and comfortable, but not fancy. We didn't have a designer couch or a big TV. We had furniture that worked and a mortgage that was almost paid off because I'd inherited the house from my father 5 years ago. We do fine, I said, if you say so. She pulled out her phone and started scrolling, her thumbs moving in that rapid-fire way chronic social media users have. Lena deserves better, though. She worked so hard at that bank. Assistant manager and everything. She should be living in one of those new condos downtown, not this old place that probably needs a new roof. The roof was fine. I'd replaced it 2 years ago, doing most of the work myself to save money. I like this house, I said. Sure. Sentimental value and all that. She yawned, not bothering to cover her mouth. Anyway, I'm going to crash. Long day. Oh, and I used your shampoo. Hope you don't mind. That cheap stuff Lena buys makes my hair all frizzy. She didn't wait for an answer. Just got up, stretched, and padded back upstairs, leaving me sitting there with a stack of ungraded essays and a cold feeling in my gut that told me the next few weeks were going to be hell. I was right. Tara didn't work a regular schedule. She was a hairdresser at a busy salon downtown called Chic Cuts, and her hours were all over the place. Some days she'd leave at 7 in the morning and come back at 3. Other days she wouldn't leave until noon and wouldn't return until almost midnight. The only constant was that whenever she was home, she made sure everyone knew it. She talked constantly. About her clients, about her coworkers, about drama at the salon, about her ex-boyfriends, about celebrities I'd never heard of, about politics she didn't understand, about her theories on why the world was going to hell and whose fault it was. Usually mine, in some roundabout way. It's men like you, she said one evening while I was making dinner. Lena was working late, again, and I'd offered to cook because I actually enjoyed it when I had the kitchen to myself, which I didn't anymore, because Tara had planted herself at the counter with a glass of wine and her phone. Men like me, I repeated, stirring the pasta sauce. I'm not playing it safe, I'm paying the bills. Real men provide better than that. She took a long sip of wine. Real men make enough that their wives don't have to work late every night just to afford a decent life. The irony of a woman who'd moved in rent-free lecturing me about providing wasn't lost on me, but I kept my mouth shut. I was learning that engaging with Tara only made things worse. That's when I started noticing things going missing. Small things at first. $20 from my wallet, some expensive coffee beans I'd bought as a treat, my nice headphones, the noise-canceling ones I'd saved up for because grading papers in a quiet environment was one of the few luxuries I allowed myself. When I asked Lena about it, she looked at me like I'd accused her of murder. Are you serious right now? You think Tara's stealing from you? I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying things are disappearing. Maybe you misplaced them. You're always so distracted with work. I didn't misplace $20 from my wallet, Lena. Oh my God, Evan. $20? Really? You're going to make a big deal about $20. It's not about the money. It's about respect. She laughed. Actually laughed. Respect? You want to talk about respect? You won't even make my sister feel welcome in our home. You barely talk to her. You act like she's some kind of burden when she's family. She is a burden. She doesn't pay rent. She doesn't help with groceries. She doesn't clean up after herself. She's going through a hard time. For 2 months? Lena's face went cold. If you have a problem with my sister being here, that's your problem. Not mine. Not hers. Yours. Maybe you should work on being less selfish. She walked out, and I stood there in the kitchen with the pasta sauce bubbling over, and I realized something important. I was alone in this. Lena had chosen her side, and it wasn't mine. That night, I started a notebook. Small, spiral-bound, the kind I use for lesson planning. On the first page, I wrote the date and started a list. September 18th, $20 from wallet. September 22, coffee beans, expensive brand, unopened. September 29th, noise-canceling headphones, black Sony brand. I kept it in my car, locked in the glove compartment, and added to it whenever something else disappeared. My good pen, a bottle of cologne, some protein bars I'd bought for my supermarket shifts. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't paranoid. I was documenting. And then, 2 weeks ago, Tara posted a video on her Instagram. She was in her room, doing some kind of makeup tutorial, and right there on her head, clear as day, were my noise-canceling headphones. The black Sony ones with a distinctive red stripe on the side. I screenshotted it immediately, added it to my notes. And I waited. Because here's what I'd learned over the years teaching high school. Timing is everything. You don't confront a cheater the moment you catch them. You wait. You gather evidence. You make sure that when you finally move, there's no room for them to wiggle out of it. The breaking point came last week. The supermarket I worked at, a mid-sized place called Martin's, locally owned, the kind of store where everyone knew everyone, had a freezer malfunction on a Thursday night. The compressor died around 9 p.m., and the manager sent everyone home early rather than pay us to stand around while the repair guy fixed it. I got home around 10. The house was dark except for the living room light and the upstairs hall light, which meant Lena was probably already in bed and Tara was probably still out. I parked in the driveway, grabbed my water bottle, and headed inside. The first thing I noticed was my laptop bag. I'd left it on the table by the door because I'd had a stack of quizzes to grade and hadn't wanted to lug them upstairs. Now it was on the couch. Unzipped, papers scattered. The second thing I noticed was Tara, halfway up the stairs, frozen like a deer in headlights. She had something in her hand. An envelope. My envelope. The one I kept in the inner pocket of my bag with emergency cash, $200 that I'd been saving for new tires. "Hey," she said, way too bright, way too fast. "You're home early." I set down my water bottle. "What are you doing with my bag?" "Oh, this? Lena asked me to grab some papers for her. For work. She said you had them." "Lena's asleep." "Right, yeah, for tomorrow morning. She wanted to review them tonight, but then she was too tired, so she said I should grab them for her for the morning." Every word was a lie, and we both knew it. I walked over to the couch and looked at my scattered papers. Nothing was missing except the cash envelope, which was now in her hand, obviously empty. "Where's the money from that envelope, Tara?" Her face changed. The fake brightness vanished, replaced by something harder. "What money?" "The $200 that was in that envelope 10 minutes ago." "I don't know what you're talking about." I pulled out my phone and opened the Notes app, started reading. September 18th, $20. September 22nd, coffee beans. September 29th, Sony headphones. The ones you're wearing in your Instagram video from October 3rd. Her face went red. "Are you seriously keeping a list? What are you, some kind of psycho?" "I'm someone who's tired of being stolen from in his own house." "I didn't steal anything. You're paranoid. You probably spent that money and forgot about it because you're always so stressed with your 2 jobs and your—" "Give me my money back, Tara." "I don't have your money." "Then give me the envelope." She clutched it tighter. "This is insane. You're insane. Lena." She turned and screamed up the stairs. "Lena, your husband is accusing me of stealing." I heard the bedroom door open. Footsteps. Lena appeared at the top of the stairs in her pajamas, looking exhausted and annoyed. "What is going on?" she said. "Your husband," Tara started, but I cut her off. I came home early and found Tara going through my laptop bag. She took $200 in cash from my emergency envelope. Lena's eyes went to Tara, then to me. "Evan, are you serious right now? It's almost midnight, and you're starting this?" "Starting what?" "Asking for my money back." "You don't know that she took it. Maybe you spent it and forgot." "I didn't forget." Tara was crying now. Actual tears streaming down her face in that practiced way toxic people do when they're caught. "I can't believe this. I can't believe you'd accuse me like this. I'm family. I would never—" "Show me the envelope," I said, my voice flat. She hesitated. For just a second, she hesitated, and I knew. Lena knew too. I could see it in her face, but she didn't care. "Evan," Lena said, coming down the stairs, "you need to calm down." "I am calm. I want my money back." "You're being ridiculous and mean. Tara's been nothing but nice." "Nice? She's been stealing from me for 2 months. I have a list. I have proof." I held up my phone. "I have her own Instagram video showing her wearing my headphones that she said she didn't take." Tara's face twisted. "You know what? Screw you, Evan. Screw you and your little lists and your paranoia. Maybe if you made enough money, you wouldn't notice $20 here and there going missing." There it was, the admission. Lena heard it too, but she was already committed to her side. "Evan, stop," Lena said, stepping between us. "You're blowing this way out of proportion. If there's been some kind of misunderstanding..." "There's no misunderstanding. She's been stealing, and now she's going to give me my money back, or she's leaving, tonight." Silence. Heavy and thick, broken only by Tara's theatrical sobbing. "You can't kick her out," Lena said quietly, dangerously. "This is my house, Lena. My name on the deed. My father's house that he left to me. And I'm telling you right now, she's out tonight. Or I am." Tara gasped, a big dramatic intake of breath. "How dare you? How dare you threaten Lena like this? You're disgusting. You're abusive." I didn't even look at her. I was watching Lena's face, watching her process, watching her make the choice I knew she was going to make. "If she goes," Lena said, and her voice shook, "I go." And there we were. The moment that had been building for 2 months, maybe for years. The moment when my wife chose her toxic sister over me, over our marriage, over basic respect and common sense. "Then I'll help you pack," I said, and I walked past her up the stairs to get the suitcases. Behind me, Tara's crying turned to screaming, and Lena's voice rose to meet it, but I didn't stop. I went to the bedroom, pulled Lena's suitcases from the top of the closet, and started filling them with her clothes. Sunday morning, the video had 500,000 views. Tara's Instagram live feed had been screen recorded and shared across multiple platforms. Reddit picked it up, then Twitter picked it up. A local news blog wrote about gym drama caught on camera, with commentary about social media culture and relationship ethics. Elite Fitness posted a statement on their website. "We are aware of an incident that occurred during our open house event. The individual involved is no longer affiliated with Elite Fitness. We strive to maintain a professional environment and do not condone the behavior displayed." Dylan had been fired. It was all over his Instagram. Well, it had been, until he deleted his entire account sometime around 3 a.m. Too late, though. The internet doesn't forget. Screenshots lived forever. My phone had 47 missed calls. Texts from numbers I didn't recognize. Emails from reporters asking for comment. I ignored all of it. At 10 a.m., someone knocked on my door. I looked through the peephole. Lena. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. She looked terrible. No makeup, hair pulled back, wearing sweatpants and one of Dylan's hoodies. Her eyes were red and swollen. "You ruined his life," she said. "He ruined his own life. He lost his job. He had to delete all his social media. People are calling him, harassing him. Not my problem. How can you be so cold?" I leaned against the door frame. "Let me get this straight. You moved your sister into my house without asking. You let her steal from me. You gaslit me when I called it out. You chose her over me. Then you started sleeping with your personal trainer, spent our joint money on him, mocked me behind my back, and filed for divorce, claiming I was abusive. And now you're asking how I can be cold? I made mistakes. You made choices. Please." Her voice cracked. "Please, Evan. I know I screwed up. I know I hurt you. But what you did yesterday, that was cruel. That was designed to hurt Dylan in the worst possible way." "Yes," I said. "It was." "So you admit it. You wanted to hurt him." "I wanted him to face consequences. There's a difference." "He's talking about suing you. Defamation, harassment. Good luck with that. Everything I showed yesterday was true. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation." I pulled out my phone. I have documentation, videos of him threatening me, videos of him assaulting me, bank records, text messages, all of it authenticated and dated. If he wants to take me to court, I'll bury him. She stared at me like she didn't recognize me. "What happened to you?" "I got tired of being nice to people who were shitty to me." "You used to be kind, understanding." "I used to be a doormat, not anymore." She started crying. Real tears this time, not manipulation. "I loved you. I really did. When we got married, I thought we'd be together forever." "So did I, but you chose differently." I made a mistake. People make mistakes, Evan. You're supposed to forgive, to work through things. Not when the person doesn't think they did anything wrong. You're not here because you're sorry. You're here because I embarrassed Dylan and you want me to fix it. That's not true. Then apologize, right now. Tell me you're sorry for lying, for cheating, for choosing Tara over me, for spending our money on your affair. Apologize. She opened her mouth, closed it. Couldn't do it. That's what I thought, I said. Martin will send you the divorce papers. Don't come back here again. I closed the door, locked it, leaned against it and listened to her sob on the porch for a full minute before she finally left. Monday, I went to see Martin Harris. Lena's lawyer called, he said. They want to negotiate. There's nothing to negotiate. The house is mine. I'll split the household goods and personal property, but the house stays with me. They're claiming emotional distress. They want compensation for damages. I laughed, actually laughed. Damages? She cheated on me, spent our money on her affair, and conspired with her sister to make me look like an abuser. What damages? Emotional damages from what happened at the gym. They're saying you publicly humiliated her and her partner. Her affair partner, who threatened and assaulted me, all of which I can prove. Martin nodded. I know, and I told them that. But they're pushing anyway. They want $10,000 to go away quietly. Counter offer. They get nothing, or I release everything publicly. The full financial records showing she spent joint money on her affair. The full text message history showing her planning to take me for everything in the divorce. The full video of Dylan threatening and attacking me. Everything. You want to go nuclear. I want them to understand that I'm done playing nice. He sighed. Evan, I have to advise you. This could get messy. Revenge isn't always satisfying. Sometimes it just makes everything worse. I'm not looking for revenge. I'm looking for consequences. Fine. I'll present your counteroffer. But Evan, be careful. You're winning right now, but winners get complacent. Don't give them an opening. I left his office and drove to the high school. Principal Harris was waiting for me. We need to talk, he said. Parents are concerned. They saw the videos online. They're asking questions. About what? About whether you're stable enough to be teaching their children. I set my bag down. Did any of those parents actually watch the videos? Did they see Dylan attack me? Did they see me defend myself without throwing a punch? Did they notice I was the one who stayed calm while he lost his mind? That's not the point. That's exactly the point. I was the victim of assault and harassment. I documented it. I protected myself. And now people are questioning my character because I refuse to be quiet about it? Perception matters. Then let's change the perception. Give me 5 minutes at the next school board meeting. Let me explain exactly what happened and show the full, unedited videos. Let the community see that I didn't do anything wrong. He studied me. You really want to do that? If it means keeping my job and my reputation, yes. I'll set it up. But Evan, you only get one shot at this. If you come across as vindictive or unhinged, it's over. I won't. The school board meeting was Wednesday night at 7 p.m. in the high school cafeteria. Maybe 40 people showed up. Parents, teachers, administrators, and a few random community members who just liked drama. I waited while they went through normal business, budget discussions, facility updates, curriculum reviews. Then they called my name. I stood up and walked to the front, set my laptop on the podium, and connected it to the projector. Good evening. My name is Evan Mercer. I'm an English teacher here at the high school, and I've been teaching for 7 years. Recently, there's been some concern about my fitness to teach based on a video that went viral this weekend. I'm here to provide context. I clicked to the first slide. A timeline. 2 months ago, my wife's sister moved into our house without my input. Over the following weeks, she stole approximately $200 in cash and several personal items, which I documented. Click. Photos of my notebook. Screenshots of Tara's Instagram showing her using my headphones. When I confronted her about the theft, my wife took her side and gave me an ultimatum. Let her sister stay or lose my wife. I chose my boundaries. Click. Photo of the police report from the night I evicted Tara. After they left, I discovered my wife was having an affair with a personal trainer named Dylan Cross. She was spending money from our joint accounts on this affair while telling me we were broke. Click. Bank statements, highlighted charges. Dylan began threatening me, both online and through text messages. Click. Screenshots of his Instagram posts, the video of him threatening to corner me and have a conversation. When I confronted him about these threats, he assaulted me. I have video evidence. I played the parking lot video, Dylan taking a swing at me, my mirror shattering, me staying calm and walking away. I filed a police report. Case number is visible here. Click. Screenshot of the police report. This past Saturday, I attended an open house at the gym where Dylan works. I brought evidence of his relationship with my wife and his threats against me. I planned to speak to management privately, but Dylan saw me and attacked me in front of dozens of witnesses. I played Tara's live video, edited down to show just the relevant parts. Me showing the photos, Dylan lunging at me, security dragging him away. To be clear, I never touched him. I never threatened him. I simply told the truth about what he'd done and let him destroy himself with his own actions. I closed the laptop and looked at the board. I understand that people are concerned, but I want to be very clear. I am not unstable. I am not vengeful. I am someone who was lied to, stolen from, cheated on, and physically attacked, and who chose to defend himself through legal and ethical means. If that makes me unfit to teach, then I don't know what you expect from your teachers. Silence. Then Mrs. Patterson, the board president, spoke. Mr. Mercer, thank you for providing context. Does anyone have questions? A parent raised her hand. Jennifer Marcus, Emma's mother, the one who'd complained about me. I want to apologize, she said. I heard things from someone at the salon. I didn't have the full story. I'm sorry. Another parent spoke up. I watched the original video before I came here tonight. Dylan Cross attacked you. You didn't fight back. You stayed calm. That's not the behavior of someone unstable. More murmurs. Agreement rippling through the room. Mrs. Patterson nodded. Thank you, Mr. Mercer. Unless there are objections, I see no reason to pursue this matter further. You're a valued member of our faculty, and we appreciate your transparency. Thank you, I said, and went back to my seat. The meeting ended shortly after. As people filed out, several parents came up to shake my hand, to apologize, to tell me they were glad I was okay. Principal Harris found me in the parking lot. That was well done. Thanks. Just try to keep the drama to a minimum from now on, all right? I smiled. I'll do my best. Thursday, I got a text from Tara. That video has 2 million views now. I'm getting offers for interviews. Podcasts want to talk to me. This is insane. I called her. Don't do it. Why not? This is my moment. Because anything you say publicly can be used against both of us in the divorce proceedings. Keep your mouth shut until everything's final. But, Tara, you gave me evidence because you wanted Lena and Dylan to hurt. They're hurting, mission accomplished. But if you go on podcasts and start talking about the details of their relationship, you're opening yourself up to defamation claims. Silence. Then, fine. But after the divorce is final? After the divorce is final, do whatever you want. She hung up. That night, I sat on my porch with a beer and watched the harbor lights. The house was quiet. Clean. Mine. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. This is Dylan. We need to talk. Man to man. I deleted it. Blocked the number. 2 minutes later, another text from a different number. I'm serious. Meet me tonight. We can end this. I took a screenshot. Sent it to the police with a note about continuing harassment. Blocked that number too. My phone rang. Lena's number. I let it go to voicemail. She left a message. Evan, please. Dylan is... he's not doing well. He's talking about doing something stupid. I'm scared. Please call me back. I listened to it twice. Then I deleted it. Not my problem. Not anymore. Friday morning, I woke up to pounding on my door. It was barely 6 a.m., still dark outside. I looked through the peephole. Dylan, he looked like hell. Unshaven, wild-eyed, wearing the same clothes from the gym video. Evan, I know you're in there, I called 911. 911, what's your emergency? I have someone pounding on my door, threatening me. I have a restraining order pending against this person. I didn't, but they didn't know that. And they've been harassing me for days. I need police here now. Address? I gave it. The dispatcher stayed on the line. Dylan kept pounding. You ruined my life. You destroyed everything. Come out here and face me like a man. Sir, please stay away from the door and wait for police to arrive. I went to my bedroom window, which overlooked the front porch. Watched Dylan pace back and forth, hands in his hair, muttering to himself. 3 minutes later, police sirens, 2 cars, 4 officers. Dylan saw them and ran. Actually ran, down my porch steps and toward his car. They caught him before he made it. Tackled him on my front lawn while he screamed about how I'd ruined his life, how I'd taken everything from him, how I deserved what was coming. One of the officers came to my door after they'd cuffed Dylan and put him in the back of a cruiser. "Mr. Mercer?" "That's me." "You filed a report about this individual last week?" "Yes, he assaulted me at the harbor. There's video evidence. And he was just at your door threatening you. I have audio recording if you need it." The officer nodded. "We're taking him in. You should file for a protection from abuse order. Go to the courthouse first thing Monday morning." "I will." They left. Dylan in the back of the cruiser, still screaming. Mrs. Caldwell came out of her house in her bathrobe. "Evan, you all right?" "I'm fine, Mrs. Caldwell." "That boy needs help. That boy needs consequences." She nodded. "Sometimes those are the same thing.